Okay, bring it down.
Whoa. This is but you have to see what's outside. Like 3 times what's inside is outside. It's incredible. You know, you've been seeing what's going on, and I will tell you, there is a silent majority that is fed up with what's happening in this country. And you see it. You see it. And it's just such a great honor. We're here many times. We love the folks in New Hampshire. They work really hard, and they really love our country, and I want to thank you. So many things to talk about, and I think what we'll do is we'll speak for a little while, and then we'll do some questions. You like that idea? Okay? Let's do it. So, you know, we have the Iran deal, and the Iran deal is a disaster. A disaster. And it's just so hot on my mind because it's so grossly incompetent. You look at it and you say, how is it possible to make a deal anytime, anywhere, forget about it? You know what that means. That means we have to be able to go in anytime, anywhere. We have to give massive notice, and then we go in 24 days later. Okay? I wonder what happens during that 24-day period. What do you think? And you know, one of the things, yeah, I wrote The Art of the Deal, right? They didn't read it. There it is. Hold that up. They didn't read it. But you know, it's very interesting because we have 4 people over there that should not be in prison. And yesterday, I watched President Obama get extremely angry at a very fair question. Why didn't you get the 4 prisoners? Why? Why? Just as a symbol of strength, as a symbol of something a little special for our country. And he said, we didn't want to bring that up because it would have complicated the negotiation. Can you believe that? No, think of it. Would have complicated the negotiation. So we're in such trouble if we don't take our country back. We're going to take it back. We're going to take it back big. So, you know, it's been a very interesting period for me because I've been basically a job producer all my life. They all talk about the debate, the debate. I don't debate. I produce jobs. I produce things. But I look forward to the debate anyway, okay? You know, I do look forward to it. And that's the problem with politicians. That's all they do is debate. They go up, they debate. They're all talk. They're no action. Nothing happens ever. Nothing happens. And, you know, you can talk about Hillary with the emails, how she gets away with this one. And in a way, we know where the Democrats are coming from, right? We know where they're coming from. I'm more disappointed in many ways with the Republicans. They have this great indignation, whether it's Benghazi or the emails or everything, or Obamacare. Obamacare, the worst. The worst. So they have great indignation. Oh, this is terrible. You know, for 2 days, oh, terrible. Nothing ever happens. Nothing. I mean, Hillary breaks the law. Nothing happens. They don't even talk about it. Do they even talk about the emails anymore? And I'm tired of it, and you're tired of it. And by the way, there's a massive group of people outside that the press will not report, by the way. They don't talk about it. No, it's true. They won't talk about it. They're not going to talk about, like, hundreds, literally, I would say 4 times this crowd. In fact, and you know, amazingly, I'd be angry as hell if I got stuck out there. They're not even angry. They're happy. That's why they probably can't hear a word we're saying, but you know the truth? I did take a lot of time getting in here because I feel very badly. I mean, I feel guilty. So, Jeb Bush raised $100 million. He's totally in favor of Common Core. He's totally weak on immigration. Think of it. No, he's totally. The last thing we need is another Bush. We need another Bush. But he raises 100. So what does 100 million mean? 100 million means he's doing favors for so many people. It means lobbyists. It means special interests. It means donors. And when you have a situation where you have people giving you millions of dollars, when they call up even if it's not in the best interest of the United States, when they call up, you do what they tell you to do, okay? Hey, excuse me, I'm one of those people. Now I'm on the other side of the fence. Who knows it better than me? I'd give to everybody. They'd do whatever I want. It's true. It's true. Somebody said, oh, you gave to Democrats. Of course I do. I'm a businessman. They do whatever the hell you tell them to do. I give Republicans, Democrats, they call. I used to have a sentence, and it's sort of funny, but, you know, it's sort of interesting. Senators call. I said, don't bother coming in, Senator. They come in. You know, you're allowed to give like $2,000. They come in, a senator, United States Senator. You go see him. The greatest thing that ever happened is campaign finance laws. $2,000 for a senator. They'll get on a plane. They'll come in from Washington. They'll come in from wherever they are to pick up $2,000 in campaign contribution. And I say, don't you have something better to do, like for the country? But I like it because it keeps your spending down. You understand that, right? It's very sad. And you look at the $100 million that he raised. If you think those people are giving without favors. Now, Hillary raised $46 million, a lot of money. The good news is, well, the good news, how much do I have? 10 billion. It's funny. A friend of mine comes up, he said, I want to give you, a rich guy, I want to give you a lot of money. I said, you know, honestly, I don't need it. He said, would you come over and make a speech at my house? I said, nah, keep your money. I really don't need it. I'll give you an example. So Ford, okay, I like that. So Ford is going to build a $2.5 billion plant. Billion. 2.5 billion in Mexico. What the hell good does that do us? So I said to myself, you know, it was a big announcement a few months ago. And by the way, Ford, likewise, just took over. They were going to build elsewhere. A lot of people are moving out of the United States. They announced, it was in the Wall Street Journal, a lot of people leaving the United States, right now, leaving the United States, going to different parts of the world. We're losing all our jobs. We're losing all our base. By the way, you people sort of know about it better than anybody. I mean, they cleaned you out. And you know where those folks, a lot of them went to Mexico. And just so you know, I've been proven right over the last 2 weeks. I took a lot of abuse 2 weeks ago. Now they're all saying, true. Now they're all saying Trump was right. I'm getting calls from people that were really critical. How could you say? Now they're saying you were right. Everybody's saying I was right. Rush Limbaugh, actually at one of his shows, somebody just told me that today. He's saying, I can't believe Trump. He's really tough. Nobody, and certainly no politician would have taken what he took 2 weeks ago without sitting down, dropping to their knees, and apologizing. Okay? And he actually said, he did the opposite. He doubled and tripled down, and it turned out I was right. You see what happened? You see what happened in San Francisco with a magnificent person. You see what happened with the prison break. I mean, they're digging for a year and nobody knows about this? For a year? You see what happens with, you know about Jamil Shaw, his son, the apple of his eye. This wonderful young guy, a very talented quarterback, good student, applying to Stanford and other schools, high school student, and a great athlete. And he gets shot down just walking home from the deli, walking home. And I got to know his father, just one of the most wonderful people, one of the most wonderful people. And he's devastated. He fell to the ground when he saw his son, and he started pounding on the sidewalk, breaking his hand. He couldn't believe this happened. And you live in hell. An illegal immigrant coming in. And I'm for immigration. We all are. We're all sort of there at one point, whether it's our parents or... But when people come in illegally, no way, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And we're going to do things that it's just not happening. So, and I was telling people, I have so many Hispanics, and they love me. I employ, they're tremendous people. They work hard, Mexicans, all over. I have thousands. I have thousands. And I love them. The spirit, the everything. But you know what? When they come in legally, they're opposed to it. And interestingly, we just got from the state of Nevada, a poll just came out. And Trump won with a tremendous amount, like 28, 29%. But here's what I liked almost more. And then the second line was, takes the Hispanic vote in a landslide. And I've been saying that. I'm telling you, I'm going to win the Hispanic vote. And I've been saying that. And two weeks ago, I was getting lambasted. I mean, Macy's had no guts. And they had like 2 phone calls. Oh, Donald, we have to drop you. Oh, you know, the ties, like ties, I care. I didn't like them that much anyway. They're made in China, okay? And you know, the reason they're made in China is because China has so manipulated their currency that it's impossible for American companies to compete. And now it's happening big league with Japan. You know, Japan is back. They have a really smart leader. You know, having a smart leader is a very good thing, folks. Soon we're going to have a smart leader, really smart. But there's a story, a friend of mine, he's in the excavation business. He's an excavator, very big. And he's like a little down. And I said, what's your problem? He said, I just bought new tractors. I said, what's so bad about that? I mean, you're doing great. He said, they're Komatsu. They're made in Japan. And I said, why? He said, because Japan just cut the yen. They cut their currency so low that I couldn't buy the cats. He's bought Caterpillar tractors. Now he's buying Komatsu. And I said, what the hell are you doing? He said, look, I owe it to my wife. I owe it to my family. I owe it to everybody. I owe it to my company, to my employees. I got to do what's right. So he bought Komatsu tractors instead of Caterpillar tractors. This is happening more and more. You know, China, in ordering Boeings, took a lot of the secrets. They said, look, we're not going to buy your planes unless you give us your secrets. So stuff that they have years and years of engineering and knowledge, they give it over to China. China's now building commercial airline divisions where they're going to make their own airliners. It's going to be brutal. They're killing us, folks. And we can't let it. We have a president that doesn't have a clue. He doesn't have a clue as to what's going on. We're not going to have jobs in this country. You know, GDP. So last quarter, we were negative. You don't see that. You see China announced 7% up, and that's like the worst thing that's happened to them in 10 years. They're up 7 points, and they're doing badly. We went down. So in other words, we're getting smaller, and yet we have more people, and we have people pouring in. And when I said Mexico is sending, these guys with all those cameras, they didn't write it. You know, when I said, hey, I'm pretty good at what I do. I went to the best school. I know what I'm doing. I said, Mexico is sending. They cut that out. They cut it out. You know, sort of interesting. I have an expression that, and we have lots of expressions in this group that I can tell you, right? But I have an expression. The American dream is dead, but I'm going to make it bigger and better and stronger, right? So think of it. No, it's an expression, and I say it a lot. The American dream is dead, but I'm going to make it bigger and better and stronger than ever before. I say it all the time. So I go home. My wife says, oh, darling, that was terrible. I said, what did I do wrong? Oh, the expression you used on television. I said, why? Everybody loved it. I got standing ovations. It was an unbelievable speech. What's wrong? She said, you said the American dream is dead. I said, no, I didn't. I said, ba, ba, ba. She said, so I turned it on, and here I am. The American dream is dead. Cut. And I said, oh, that's terrible. These people right here. Actually, some of them are there. No, some. So we're going to have a very, very successful time. New Hampshire is so important. I spent a lot of time in Iowa. Those people, too, they are just phenomenal people. They work so hard, and they are so discouraged when they look at what's happening. You know, you look at, again, Japan, where they send millions of cars. We send farm products. Very little. Relatively speaking, very little. So they send about 5 to 1 in terms, and I believe it's higher than that. So let's say it's 20%. We send 20%. So we go to China, and we go to Japan, and we say, in the case of the cars, Japan, hey, listen, here's what we're doing. You won't allow our farm. They won't even allow it. By the way, they're all the time protesting. We don't want your corn. We don't want your beef. We don't want anything. We don't, well, you don't, I have a better idea. Say, listen, you don't want our product, and yet we're taking your cars. And it's about 20%. So we're going to cut your cars down to 20%, so it's equal. Now, very simple. Very simple. Very simple. Okay? So crazy. In the case of Ford, and I use this as an example. So Ford builds their plant, and the big news, and I said, what would I do if I were president, and what would a guy like Bush or Hillary do? So here's Bush or Hillary. They know it's the wrong thing. They know it can't help us. Hey, I went to the Wharton School of Finance. Let me tell you, the best school in the world, best business school in the world. Like, let me tell you, folks, you don't have to be too smart to understand. Building $2.5 billion there is no good. So what would they do? They'd get a call, and they'd say, that's the wrong thing to do. We're going to take strong action. Then their lobbyist would call them. You can't go against Ford. Ford contributed to your campaign, or somebody that owns Ford stock, or somebody. Then they get a call from the special interest group. Then they get a call from their donors. So you have the donors, the special interest, and the lobbyists, right? All three will call. And the head of Ford, who's a very nice guy, smart guy, good guy. And that's what happens. And they'll say, okay, go ahead, build a plant. Congratulations. Here's what Trump would do, President Trump. I'd say, no. Very simple. I would say, you're not going there. And I'd call the head of Ford, and I'd say, congratulations on your new plant. I think it's wonderful, the one you're building in Mexico. I think it's wonderful. That's the good news. Let me give you the bad news. You're going to pay a 35% tax for every automobile, truck, and part that you send into the United States. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And I'm a free trader. I'm a free trader. The problem is when you have free trade, the one problem, you need smart leadership. And we have very incompetent leadership. Okay? So here's what's going to happen. The head of Ford will say, Mr. President, you can't do that. This is horrible. We're getting ready to start construction. This is horrible. I said, that's okay. Don't worry about it. 35%. And that's only because I'm being nice to 35. Okay? That's because I'm being nice. So I know the greatest negotiators in the world. I know them. The good ones, the bad ones, the ones that are underrated, and plenty are overrated. I know some that people think are good. They're not good. I know them all. I wouldn't even waste my time. This is too easy. I do this one myself. All right? So what happens is Ford will probably call me before the end of the day. And they'll give it one more shot. If they're really tough, they'll wait till the following day. Okay? But I will be called by lobbyists and friends of mine. But I don't need anybody's money. I don't want their money. I don't want their money. And I would tell the head of Ford, very simply, I'm sorry, sir, but you're going to have to go back to the United States. And if you don't worry about it. Enjoy your plant. Okay? Enjoy it. And he will say 100%. I don't mean 99%. I don't mean 98%. I don't mean 90%. 100%. He will say, please, Mr. President, no, no, no. Then he'll say, okay, we're not going to build the plant. We're going to build it in New Hampshire. We're going to build it in someplace else. Okay? That's what's going to happen. They have no choice. But we have really dumb people representing us. I love Mexico. I love the Mexican people. But remember this. Remember this. And the problem that I said, and I said it very well, the problem with Mexico is that their leaders and their negotiators are much smarter and sharper and more cunning than ours. Okay? And we can't have that. I respect them. I respect China. I make a fortune with China and Mexico. You know, in Mexico, I sell apartments to people from Mexico. Pay me millions. I sold one to a gentleman from China, $25 million. Am I supposed to dislike China? I love China. It's wonderful. No, it's wonderful. I own a big chunk of the Bank of America building in San Francisco. People don't even know this. But I own a big, I got it from China. I beat China. I beat them. I beat them badly. They don't like me. The biggest bank in the world is from China. They occupy space in my building. They pay me rent. And believe me, their rent is good. This is a big bank. So We need leadership that's smart. We have to bring back our jobs. We have to bring back our manufacturing. From many countries, we don't make any good deals. We have people that are there for political reasons. They're there because they made contributions. I don't know how the hell some of these people are there, but they're damn right stupid people, and we can't allow it to continue happening. Because if we allow it to happen, we're not going to have a country anymore. We're just not going to have a country anymore. We just cannot continue to do it. When you look at our growth going down, we just cannot have it. So with that, I'm going to take a few questions. And again, all of those thousands of people outside, I'm going to try talking to them. I got to talk to them for a little while, right? It's like crazy. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Do you have a mic for the gentleman? Yeah, just pass it through. You don't have to go back to him. Pass it through. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Trump.
Okay.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you
Good
for
to see
being
you.
here.
I'm a Vietnam veteran. Been in the war zone, been there, done that.
I did the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in New York. You know I was responsible for that. So
I'd like to know if you're elected president of this great country of ours, what are you going to do for our military?
Okay, I'll tell you what. Everybody agrees. CNN did a poll. And I blow people away on leadership. I blow people away on economic development and anything financial. I blow them away. I mean, can you imagine I'm dealing with Bush? I mean, if I don't win that one, I think I'm going to just quit. Okay? Can you believe it? But I blow them away. And I tell you what, I think the thing I'll do best on is the military. I'm a very militaristic person. But I would build a military and take care of our vets, always, because they are treated like third-rate citizens. But I'll tell you what. We have to strengthen our military. There's never been a time when our country's had more danger, and it's really because of the power of the weaponry. You know, when you look at what's going on, look at this horrible deal, but there are many other horrible deals. I think this deal will lead to nuclear proliferation. We need strength. We need real strength. You know, we had a time where Russia was actually telling us what to build in terms of the military. We don't want you to do that. We don't want you to do that. We don't want you to do the wall. When I say the wall, the missile wall. Okay, that's the ultimate wall. They're telling us they don't want us to do it, and we say, oh, okay, we won't do it if you tell us not. I don't understand this whole thing. And by the way, I'd get along with Putin, and yet I'd do whatever the hell we wanted to do. Here's Obama. Putin hates him and has no respect for him, and he doesn't like Putin either, by the way. It's all right. But we're not respected. We're not liked. And did you ever see us? Do we get along with anybody? And we give our money away. We pay hundreds of billions of dollars to everybody. And they don't respect us. They don't respect us. Very interesting. China, in Business Week magazine, they had a piece. What do the Chinese most want? Now, who's tougher than the Chinese than me? I love the Chinese, but who's tougher than me? And you know one of the top 10 things that they most wanted? Anything Trump. I say, I can't believe it. They want anything Trump, but because they respect you. They have to respect you. So I will take care of the military. We will be so strong and so powerful that nobody's going to mess with us. We won't have to use the military. You know. Okay. Question. Go ahead. Question. Go ahead. With the book. Great book.
You take depressed properties in distressed areas.
I do.
And turn them around.
Right.
The biggest things I got out of this.
Right.
We have a city called Detroit.
Right. A disaster. Detroit is a disaster.
Worse shape than the Commodore.
Yeah.
So, what are we going to do to help those cities? I know we can bring in the talk about.
Yeah, why don't you try turning that on? It's a good question, actually. He's talking about Detroit, which is a total mess. And it's Detroit and it's Baltimore. It's plenty of cities. I mean, there are plenty of cities in the Detroit situation.
So anyway,
Now what? It's all right. I'll repeat you. Yeah. So we have to fix up our inner cities. Our inner cities are in shambles. People have lost their spirit. Let me tell you, when Obama got elected, I thought the one thing that really would happen is that he was going to be a great cheerleader for the country. I really did. I felt at least he'll be. I mean, we wanted Mitt to win, and unfortunately, Mitt let us down. I mean, look, we can all say he's a nice man, and he was, but he choked. Something happened to him. The last month, he disappeared. I promise you, folks, I will never disappear. I will never disappear. But he disappeared. I called their campaign. I said, you know, Obama's on Jay Leno tonight. Obama's on David Letterman tomorrow night. Where is Mitt? And he just disappeared. I don't know what the hell happened to him. That was an election that should have been won. It should have been won. But I thought Obama would be a great cheerleader for the country. I really felt that, and, you know, it's so sad what's happened. So divisive. So divisive. He hasn't called the incredible parents of Kate, as an example. Kate is killed. He doesn't call them. Why wouldn't he call them? Why wouldn't he call? I mean, it's such a massive event, and she's such an incredible person, and you look, and he won't call her. I don't understand the whole thing. So he turned out to be very divisive. We will bring people together. It's like when I tell you about the Nevada poll, where the Hispanics are voting for Trump. Everyone's shocked. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. I'm going to put people to work. And I have a lot of stuff. I have a great, successful building in Nevada. Tallest building in Nevada, if I do say. Anybody want a reservation, let me know. But it's a great success, and I employ many people. So when the press called today, they can't believe, they can believe I won Nevada in the poll. But they can't believe I won the Hispanic vote. I didn't win the Hispanic vote. I won by a landslide. And I said, I've told you that. I keep telling you that. They love me, and I love them. I'm going to win the Hispanic vote. Bush isn't going to win, even though he'll say 5 words in Spanish. No, he's not going to win. Because he's not going to put anybody to work. He's not going to negotiate with China. Do you see him negotiating with? Who would you rather have negotiating against China, Trump or Bush? Yeah. Hot in here. You know, they actually have air conditioning, but it wasn't meant for this, so who the hell? I'm in New Hampshire. I love New Hampshire. Okay, let's do another question. Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Hi, my name's Holly Pedro.
Hi, Holly.
United States Navy Blue Star Mother.
Wow, very good. Blue Star Mother. Go ahead.
Yes. During Bill Clinton's administration, by the wave of a pen and a magical executive order, he changed the terminology from POW MIA to duty status whereabouts unknown because it was more media friendly. So I don't have a question for you, Mr. Trump. As a mother of a United States sailor,
Right.
I take upon myself to speak for every mother of every military person when I challenge you in your first 100 days to change that terminology back to POW MIA.
Okay, I understand that, exactly. I can understand that. You watch. I can understand that. You know, yesterday I was given a very, very strong reprimand because they said that my tone wasn't nice. Think of this. We got people, their heads are being cut off, Christians, by ISIS. We got nothing but crime pouring into the country. We got a mess of a country. You have inner cities that have never been. You see hundreds and hundreds of people being shot and killed. And Hillary said, I don't like his tone. Okay? I don't like his tone. Remember the waterboarding? You don't hear too much about waterboarding anymore. Did you see where ISIS drops them in a cage into the water and drowns everybody? Remember the big waterboarding? It wasn't nice. It's not quite nice. I mean, now they chop off heads. They drop them in cages into the ocean. I mean, what's going on? We're living in medieval times. And we got to fight it like nobody's ever. And we got to end it. We got to end it. Okay. Okay. Got a big smile on his face.
Mr. Trump, I'm a big idol of yours.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. What are you going to do for, like, this businesses, like, around the country, the small businesses?
Well, you know, the nation's about small business, and so many small businesses, and between the regulations and the problem, and I know about all these problems. You know, you build a new place. I did a great job at Doral, and I took Doral and made it a tremendous success, and it was really tired. It's very much, you know, I give the analogy, a member of Doral comes up to me. It was really tired. I made a good deal, by the way, okay? But, you know, right in the middle of Miami, and comes up to me and said, you know, Mr. Trump, it's so great. It's one of the top resorts in the world right now. And when I bought it 4 or 5 years ago, good timing because, you know, the world was different. When I bought that, I will tell you, it was a mess. And the member comes up to me and says, you know, Mr. Trump, if you could do the same thing for the country as you did at Doral in Miami, it would be unbelievable. And I can. I can. And you know, as crazy as it sounds, in many ways it's easier. We can turn this country around. What we can't do is go another 4 years like this. And Hillary will be another 4 years. And think of it. She talked about tone. And Jeb Bush said essentially the same thing. He thought I was a little bit harsh. I don't have time. We don't have time. We got to get back to work. We got to do things. He said I was a little harsh. I don't know what even. I want to get it done. I want results. And I said about Hillary, and it got covered all over the world, I said, it's not about tone. It's about results. It's about results. And that's what we need. Okay, how about we'll do one more question? If it's a good one, if it's a bad one, we'll do another one. Okay, let's go. This guy looks like a smart guy. Come on.
My question, Mr. Trump, is that every day that you're here, you want to have us support you and be your leader, our leader.
Right.
Will you give that fight every single day so that the people that are standing here amongst you now will believe in you for the next 4
I wish that mic was working. It's such a great question.
You know what I mean?
Well, you got to get that. Otherwise, don't pay the bill for this place. Do you understand? Okay. Don't pay the bill. Get it. Is that mic working? Put it. Give it to him. Is it working?
Hello?
That's better.
All right. I want to know,
Isn't
and
that
the
good?
people that are in
See
this
what you
room,
can do?
the people in this room that are going to support you, they want to know that you're going to follow through with everything you say and give 110%
Good.
every single day of the 400 some odd days if you're elected president.
I love
and
it.
never lay down and quit.
I don't quit. I don't quit. I win club championships. No, I don't know about quitting. I'll tell you this. I love that question. And I understand that question, because sometimes you'll see somebody and say, oh, good, good, and then they get in office, and frankly, they're controlled. They're like little puppets. Hey, my whole life I've been doing, I've been on the other end. Nobody knows it better than me. But they lose their enthusiasm, they lose their will, they lose a lot of things. Ain't gonna happen with me. I will promise you that we will make America great again, better than ever before. We'll do it fast, we'll do it effectively, and you are going to love the job I do. That I can tell you. That I can tell you. I appreciate it. And it'll be consistent and always. Thank you very much, and remember, the silent majority is back, and don't forget it. This is the silent majority, and thank you. Thank you. Fantastic. Thank you all. Thank you. I'll do that. Thank you.